know, I'm starting to see why people don't like Shigechi. Fucking greedy little prick. Welcome to my review of Jojo's Bizarre Adventure Diamonds Unbreakable episode 19, part 2 of Shigechi's Harvest. So the quote-unquote invincible trio go to the bank to get a promissory note so that they can cash it in for that 5 million yen within 3 days. However, they have one obstacle to get over, and that was the bank employee, who was very suspicious over these boys having this winning ticket, especially since that there was a signature and a phone number at the back of it. Like, really, guys? You didn't check the back of the ticket in case there was a signature? Really? But they actually managed to get away and get that promissory note thanks to Josuke using Crazy Diamond to fix the signature on the ticket, which it can do in a way, but I thought like Crazy Diamond has the ability to revert things back to its original form if they're like changed or broken. I guess Crazy Diamond can do that, but something like that was only whenever Josuke was, you know, angry or something, but I guess Crazy Diamond can do that. Okay, I'll let that slide. Anyway, they got the promissory note, and they're getting closer to that 5 million yen, but unfortunately, Shigechi is still being a greedy little asshole, saying that he'll take all the money for himself and even going as far as to bribing Josuke and Okuyasu for that 5 million yen, which is something that they weren't happy about, so much so that Okuyasu punches Shigechi in the face. However, not wanting to do anything rash, Josuke decides to keep the promissory note and then come back to cash in that money so that they can split the money evenly. However, Shigechi was angry, especially when he used Harvest to overhear Josuke and Okuyasu talking about him, and even mentioning the fact that they were technically using him to get money. So that kind of pissed him off, and he was upset that his friends kind of, you know, betrayed him. So he used his stand to grab the promissory note, take it, and then run away. We even get a little display on Harvest's strength, which it seems that this stand can actually like pick out chunks of flesh with its tiny little hands. We saw that when it's scraping off bits of his skin on his legs, which looks very painful, like, you know, like getting bitten by fire ants? I bet that the pain would be tenfold, especially since there's like more of them. But anyway, Shigechi gets away with the promissory notes, but considering of how short and chubby he is, he doesn't get very far. He even trips, but we see him use his stand in another cool way. His stand carried Shigechi. He was using his stand as a conveyor belt to carry him, which I thought was pretty cool, especially when his stand was able to carry him up the building. But Josuke and Okuyasu also used their stands to get up to the building, which, you know, thinking about it, we haven't seen something like this for a long while in Jojo's Bizarre Adventure. I mean, think about it. When was the last time you've seen a stand user using their stand to like go up high places or, you know, carrying them? I'd say like the last time we saw something like this was during the fight between Jotaro and Dio during Stardust Crusaders. So yeah, I thought it was cool seeing the stands used in this way again, even though I feel like that they should have probably used this kind of ability earlier in certain situations, but that's just me. Anyway, Josuke and Okuyasu were getting closer, but Shigechi was using Harvest to take out the nuts and bolts from the 2 pipes connected to the 2 buildings. But luckily, Josuke used Crazy Diamond to fix the pipes, but then Josuke noticed that something was off with him. He started to feel dizzy and disorientated to the point where he falls down, and even Okuyasu was affected. So what was the cause of this? They were drunk. Yeah, Josuke and Okuyasu, drunk. 2 teenagers, one of them being the main character, the main Jojo, drunk. Well, never seen something like that before in Jojo, I guess. Yeah, it turns out that they got drunk because Shigechi used Harvest to like grab a nearby bottle of alcohol when he fell down earlier, and he used his stand to like inject the alcohol into their veins. So Harvest has the ability to inject various liquids into a person's veins using these like needles coming from their heads. Yeah, Harvest can do that. Again, Harvest, pretty cool stand. Not only that, but Harvest punched Okuyasu in the eye. Same thing with Josuke, except it only managed to like scrape a piece of his eyelid when Josuke closed his eye. So Okuyasu pleads for Shigechi's forgiveness and even going as far as to giving him back the money he gave them. But this was all a trap for Okuyasu to get Shigechi closer to him within his stand's range so that he can use the hand to get that note back, which he does, Again, kudos Okuyasu. Josuke rips the note into pieces and then sends it out into the air. And Shigechi, in a panic, sends out Harvest to reclaim all the pieces. But once he did that, he left himself vulnerable and defenseless against Josuke and Okuyasu, who were drunk, by the way. Again, I just can't believe that they were drunk in this episode. I thought it was kind of funny. So with that out of the way, Josuke and Okuyasu teach Shigechi a painful little lesson on how much each person deserves, splitting the money evenly. Harvest is the one that gathers the pieces of the notes, but the one who fixes them is Crazy Diamond. So if Shigechi kills Josuke, he wouldn't be able to fix up that note. And of course, the one who took the note was Okuyasu. So obviously, they would have to split the money 3 ways, which Shigechi realizes and then pulls a total 180, realizing the error of his ways, knowing that he was consumed by greed. And it also gave him the ability to heal that 1 injury that he got when Okuyasu punched him in the face, again, for the 2nd time. Okay, sure. But yeah, that was something I was not expecting, but at least Shigechi learned his lesson. So with that out of the way, 3 days later, they get the 5 million yen, but then Shigechi thought that their stands should have at least a part of the money, and since Harvest has like multiple entities, Shigechi should get most of the money, which is stupid because what the hell can a stand do with money? Like, what would a stand use it for? Seriously, but Shigechi gets scared again, and then, you know, they're all good in the end, and yeah, that was pretty much it in the episode. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, Josuke, Okuyasu, and Shigechi get their fair share of the money, and it's all good. Yay! So yeah, that was episode 19 of Diamond is Unbreakable. Overall, I thought this was a nice little episode, really. I really like seeing Shigechi using a stand Harvest in terms of combat. I mean, there are certain things that Harvest can do, which I was surprised at, especially with the injection of the alcohol thing. And it also shows that Harvest can be a pretty tough swarm type stand. But with Shigechi, he was a prick in this episode. He was a little asshole, and I can see why people don't like him. But to be fair, at least he realized the errors of his way. At least he learned his lesson. I really hope that he doesn't get consumed by greed again, because I like the Shigechi from the previous episode at the beginning. But again, time will tell, I guess. But for now, in my opinion, he can be irritating. He can be a little prick, a little asshole, but he does have a good side to him some of the time. But yeah, he can be a little prick. But I will say this. He's at least a much more likable character than Toshikazu, because fuck Toshikazu, seriously. And I know I mentioned this in my previous review, but again, I really like the friendship between Josuke and Okuyasu. I mean, when Okuyasu came up with the plan, Josuke instantly knew what Okuyasu was thinking. It just shows how strong their bond is and how good they are as friends. And that's why, as I said before, I deem Josuke and Okuyasu as like my favorite friendship pairing in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Well, so far. I still gotta see Johnny and Gyro in part 7, so there's still that. And I really liked their teamwork on chasing after Shigechi and getting that note bag. Again, kudos to Okuyasu for coming up with that plan. I'm so proud of him, really. There were actually some moments, again, that were pretty funny. I mean, Josuke and Okuyasu doing that yatta thing. I guess it was like their little handshake, like, you know, with Kakyoin and Polnareff handshake back in Star Wars Crusaders, but I thought it was pretty funny. And of course, we got some ridiculous poses and facial expressions, but some pretty cool ones too as well. The moment with the bank teller was pretty funny, and I kind of wish that the bank teller was a stand user, an evil stand user, because I can totally see that, but no, that wasn't really gonna happen. Shame, really. It'd be pretty funny. It'd be pretty cool in a way. Although, I gotta admit, I do feel bad for him because he was just doing his job, and the original owner of that ticket will no longer get that 5 million yen because he failed to check the numbers and he just threw it away. So, no harm in that, I guess. Voice acting and music, once again, was spot on as always. I don't know who voiced the bank teller, but he did sound familiar to me. I thought that he was the voice actor who did, was it King Muscle? Kinnikuman? But I think I might be wrong. I'm not sure. I think it's probably someone else. As for the animation and artwork, I thought it was good for the most part. And the fight I really did enjoy. And Shigechi, fucking Shigechi, man. But I mean, like, I don't really hate him as much as some people, but I can see why people do hate him. I just still think he's kind of irritating, really. But you gotta admit, Harvest was a pretty cool stand, especially in this episode, and I really hope we get to see more of it. So with that out of the way, we should be getting back to the main plot with Kira, right? Wrong, because next episode is Yukako Yamagishi Dreams of Cinderella. And I was promised that we're going to get Kira within the next arc, the next episode, but instead we're getting the Yukako episode, the one with Cinderella, which I actually looked it up. Apparently this arc is like 6 chapters long, and it took place after the events of the Kira arc, the one where we get to see Kira more, which we're supposed to be getting after Shigechi's arc. But apparently David's production changed that. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's because so that they can get some of the lesser interesting episodes out of the way, and we'll get back to the main plot sooner, and maybe it will be much longer in a way. I don't know, but, well, I mean, I want to see Kira. I really do, but then we're getting a freaking Yukako. Okay, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Yukako. I personally don't like her that much, but maybe her episode would be good. I don't know, but if they're gonna get that out of the way, that means we'll get more focus on Kira, so that's a plus in a way, but I just hope that episode 20 would be good. That's all I'm saying. So, tell me guys, what'd you think of this episode of Diamond is Unbreakable? Did you like it? Did you hate it? What did you think of Shigechi and his stand overall, now that his little arc is over? And what did you think of the teamwork between Josuke and Okuyasu? Again, really like these two. Best bros ever, you know? And how did you guys feel that we weren't going to get back to the main plot, but instead we're shifting to the Yukako Cinderella arc, which, knowing that it's going to be 1 episode and it's 6 chapters long in the manga, that means that there's going to be some parts that will be changed and left out. So, hopefully it'll be good. I don't know. I still want to see Kira, but again, just see if the episode is good. Anyway, so tell me your thoughts in the episode in the comment section down below. Like the video if you like it, subscribe to our videos, and be sure to check out my Facebook fan page and Google+. So yeah, that was episode 19 of Diamond is Unbreakable. I know episode 20 is out this week. I'll get the review and the reaction out as soon as I can. Hopefully before episode 21 will come out. So in the meantime, stay tuned for that. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later. See ya.